Yo, guys, welcome back to the EJ Sports Podcast. It's your host, E, with my boy Jay here.
What's up?
And today, this is going to be for all my wrestling fans out there. We're going to be doing a WWE Clash in Paris review. We're going to be talking about the match card. Who do we think was going to win? The very surprising thing that happened on SmackDown tonight. We're recording this right after the Sami Zayn versus Solo Sikoa match and what's going on there. The Stephanie Vaquer situation, and who do we think is going to win the Raw after Clash in Paris when it comes to AJ Styles versus Dominik Mysterio. Now, Clash in Paris. The very big thing that's been going on is the whole idea with Stephanie Vaquer not having her title match on Clash in Paris, obviously after Naomi came out saying that she is pregnant when Big Jim did not proceed with caution, if you know what I mean. And so this now became a big issue when it comes to not having Stephanie Vaquer there. Obviously, in my opinion, I feel like they could have just done a battle royal for another number one contender spot to go up against Stephanie on Clash in Paris. But I feel like that's such a big missed opportunity. And what do you think about that, Jay? Not having Stephanie Vaquer, the Chilean princess, in my opinion, not having her there. What do you think? Is that a big miss or a big gain for WWE?
It's a big miss. You want to know why?
Why?
She was going to wrestle with Becky, right?
Naomi,
I mean. But they know that Becky Lynch against Nikki Bella is a bigger rating boost than Stephanie Vaquer. And they're going more for the money and filling up seats than...
You know, I agree with that. The whole idea of with Stephanie Vaquer and the whole Women's World Championship, title scene is going on there. Monday Night Raw has a big issue. They at this moment have lost two main event stars. No Liv Morgan, until we're hearing 9 months. We're hearing until next year, possibly WrestleMania, if not
Naomi until next year.
Rumble. Naomi until next year. At this moment, there is a feud going on where Io Sky and Rhea Ripley are going against the Kabuki Warriors. And Becky Lynch, the other main event quality, women's superstar, is the current Intercontinental Champion. And she's going against Nikki Bella, the other potential women's superstar main eventer. And at this moment, there is a huge gap. When I mean by huge gap, there's a huge heel gap when it comes to the women's Raw scene. And in my opinion, the hometown girl, my favorite women wrestler, of all time, Bayley. She's currently being teased to have a heel run, possibly split personality. Do you think possibly Bayley could step up to the Naomi role and possibly be one of the women's to go up there to fight for that Women's World Championship? If Stephanie Vaquer wins it, would that be a possible opponent? Having Naomi out there. Shout out to San Jose. Shout out to my hometown. That's who we'll support. Obviously, I'll always support Bayley. Do you think Bayley is a possible person to step up to that role?
She will win that title. And yeah. But here's the thing. Bayley will be a heel, right?
Yeah.
She needs to have that title for at least until probably Royal Rumble or WrestleMania for next year. If not, she will actually lose it probably in December's what is it called? Main event?
Yeah, Saturday night main event. Yeah,
there you go. She will lose it there. And probably the new champ will be Stephanie Vaquer. Right?
No, I agree when it comes to the whole Stephanie Vaquer, the whole void that was left behind when it comes to Naomi being pregnant. In my opinion, Bayley should be stepping up to that role, or possibly a switch up. What I mean is Nikki Bella winning the title, Becky Lynch being promoted to the main event scene, going for the World Championship, and then Bayley stepping into the Becky Lynch role and being the mid-card women's heel.
But there's a problem.
What do you say?
They're going to trust a part-timer as a champion?
Well, at this moment, Becky isn't part-time. She's full-time.
Nikki Bella if she wins.
Well, when I'm saying the scenario is that Nikki Bella wins and then Bailey comes in and beats her right away.
I don't think so. They're gonna give her the title, but if Nikki wins, she won't have it for probably 2 months. How the WWE new management is rolling, because every single time, all the champions they have the title for more than 6 months.
I agree, and in my opinion, that's a perfect transition to what happened this Friday night. We can say Friday night, Friday afternoon for us here in the United States. Solo Sikoa just lost his championship to Sami Zayn in front of the Leon crowd. A huge pop. In my opinion, a huge, and I mean huge, letdown was the Solo Sikoa reign. The MFTs, the only person that's looking strong is Tala Tonga. In my opinion, Solo Sikoa, as great as he is as a character, WWE just did not build him as the monster. They did not make him as a credible champion. He was losing every other night. He could only win with the MFTs. Shout out to Sami Zayn. Congratulations. In my opinion, this is like a consolation prize for not being able to be a world champion where you could win the United States Championship. In my opinion, this leads to a great dynamic of Jimmy Uso and possibly Jacob Fatu going after those titles again with the MFT still there. But in my opinion, this was more of a test and see if Sami Zayn could carry that mid-card, because ever since LA Knight left, ever since Jacob Fatu has just not been going for the title, but even though being in the scene, they just didn't give that confidence to Solo to be the NXT Solo. And in my opinion, that's the best Solo. The man that could talk on the mic, the man that could back it up, didn't mind being savage out there, in those Extreme Rules match. I don't know if you remember that for the North American Championship. In my opinion, Solo, he was let down. I feel like Solo should go back to that character. But yet again, shout out to Sami Zayn. What's your reaction to Sami Zayn winning the United States Championship?
He already knew that he wasn't going to win the world title, because Triple H likes Seth Rollins.
True.
And I need to say, yeah, Seth Rollins is good and all, but bro, they should have just give the title to Sami Zayn. I'm already sick and tired of having Seth Rollins as champion.
So you don't believe in the whole vision?
No.
You don't trust that this is like Evolution 2.0, that there might be another member making them the great faction?
They're failing.
Really? For me, the whole idea of the vision, it's been a experiment that only works if there is another member where they could dominate Raw. Because in my opinion, that's what the Judgment Day should have been.
But they failed.
And the reason they failed is because I never trusted Damian Priest as a world championship quality. In my opinion, he was the upper mid-card to the lower main event scene. Finn Balor should have been the leader. He should have been the one.
He should have been the champion. And Dominik Mysterio and Damian should have been the tag team champions.
As someone who understands me, Jay, that's exactly what I was going to say. Damian Priest, as much as I respect his in-ring work, I never saw him as a main event quality, and I feel like it shows because once after he won the World Championship, what did he do?
Nothing. He just fought Drew McIntyre and then the rest of the locker room, and right now I have no idea what he's doing.
He's currently in the feud with Aleister Black.
That's gonna lead to nothing.
And he had a feud with Drew McIntyre. I was never interested in it. I never really got invested with that feud with Drew McIntyre. As much as I like Drew McIntyre, it was Damian Priest that was holding back. And I feel like with Aleister Black and the idea of R-Truth being in it, even though he should be the Ron Killings moniker, not R-Truth, it's such a weird thing. I feel like when it comes to the division, they should put a Austin Theory, an Ilya Dragunov.
But here's the problem: Triple H doesn't trust Austin Theory. That means Austin Theory is out of the picture.
You're right.
And he's good at the mic, has good physique, good wrestler, Austin Theory, but Triple H doesn't trust him. There's a reason why he didn't win the world title with the Money in the Bank, because he didn't have trust. Vince McMahon had a vision for him. He was going to be the new John Cena, but Triple H didn't see that.
I agree. I just feel like with Austin Theory, it was much more of a right person, wrong time. It was to the point where Vince was in his final heydays. Obviously, Hunter was more of a, I'm trusting my guys. And that's where I also agree. Seth Rollins, I've never liked his matches post knee injury. I just feel like his matches are very one note, and the people he's wrestling are very one note. The only really match I did like was his matches with Cody Rhodes. That's about it, because I know Cody could elevate Seth Rollins. And I just feel like when it comes to Seth Rollins and the vision, and I don't know if it's much Seth Rollins, but it's more of the vision and the way that they're booked on Raw. Braun Breaker isn't as intimidating.
He was more intimidating when he was by himself.
I 100% agree. Bronson Reed.
Why is he... Oh, yeah, talking about that match. Let's talk about that right now. Because, what is he doing with the shoes?
I do like that. I like the Shula Fala. I do like Bronson Reed, the Tribal Thief. Acknowledge, Jay. Acknowledge your Tribal Thief.
Let's do it right now.
Do you acknowledge your Tribal Thief, or do you acknowledge Roman?
Both.
Yo, what do you mean both?
Not just kidding. Roman.
You acknowledge Roman. Because for that match, we're starting off right now. This is our Clash in Paris predictions. In my opinion, that's going to be the opener. Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. In my opinion. Because, pun not intended here. I see the vision. This is all going to be a build-up for War Games. The vision and the way you reacted, I could tell you weren't thinking about it.
No, you want to know why? Because it's not going to be that.
I feel like it is, because I feel like in order to make the credibility that the vision is a credible threat on Raw, Bronson Reed, my Tribal Thief, with the Shula Fala, he's adding another shoe to his collection. He is beating Roman Reigns with shenanigans. Braun Breaker's going to go in to help, but with shenanigans. Bronson Reed. And right now, I am acknowledging the Tribal Thief. He is going to beat Roman. Roman's going to be injured to record for Street Fighter. Because that's happening. Just tell you, that's happening. And he's going to collect more shoes to make him strong going into War Games. I have Bronson Reed, the Bronzilla, the Ozilla, tsunamiing Roman Reigns for the win. Who do you got?
Roman. You want to know why Roman?
Why?
Because I still don't have trust on that Bronson Reed guy.
You don't?
No. Not even close. He's like the third tier of the vision. He's just collecting shoes. That's all he's doing.
But I feel like that's his gimmick.
He could do something better than collecting shoes.
But in my opinion, that's what makes him important, though. That's what makes him sick. You're telling me you see Bronson Reed and he beats you up. He ain't robbing your shoes?
No.
He for sure robbing your shoes. What do you mean he's robbing your shoe? Hell nah. Bronson Reed is for sure robbing those shoes, man. He's for sure robbing the shoes. Nah.
Hell no. Next match.
All right, next match. In my opinion,
it's a filler match.
It is a filler match, but I feel like it's a filler match because it just recently got added to the Clash in Paris. It is the Wyatt Six versus the Street Profits. It just got announced on Friday Night SmackDown. They just had the number one contenders match where Melo Don't Miss just lost to the Street Profits. In my opinion, because the way they're going and the reason why they did the whole Sami Zayn versus Solo Sikoa, and I feel like this is where you're going. And I'm looking at you, you're looking at me here. Do you think it's going to be Wyatt 6 versus the MFTs at War Games?
Correct.
See, pun not intended again. I see the vision.
Or it could be 4-way.
Ooh, what do you mean by that?
The original OTC.
Okay.
The Vision.
Okay.
The Missionary, right? Or the Solo Sikoa team.
The My Family Tree.
Yep. And the Y6.
So you're telling me now, when it comes to this, I don't see it at all. I'm sorry. The reason why I say that is because they've been teasing for about, I want to say like 2 weeks or so, that the Wyatt 6 has been in the background of these interviews when it comes to these tag team divisions. And in my opinion, you have one faction going up against another faction. In my opinion, the Wyatt 6 have to be champions still. And now, speaking as a former tag team, you could say champions. I don't know. Were they champions?
Who?
The League of Nations. Did they become champions?
No, because they lost against the New Day.
Oh, true.
In WrestleMania. And then afterwards, I think at the end of, no, the night after WrestleMania, they I think they got rid of Wade Barrett.
Oh, true. Yeah.
And then afterwards, little by little, they started disbanding the group.
The reason why I brought this up is a little segue. The good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. Sheamus versus Rusev. Half of the League of Nations. The other half will sadly not be on commentary. It has been confirmed. It is Corey Graves. It is Michael Cole. No Wade Barrett. In my opinion, they should have had Wade Barrett there. And in my opinion, do you think they're going to bring up Alberto Del Rio during this match?
No.
They're going to be far away from Alberto.
Yeah, they cannot bring Alberto Del Rio back because of the past.
True.
And the main reason why Alberto Del Rio lost the Triple title, just because Triple H doesn't like Alberto Del Rio because of the problems that happened in the past.
True. In my opinion, Rusev has to win this match. To bring his credibility, in my opinion, he's going to be gunning for the Intercontinental Championship soon. So, when it comes to this, either Sheamus wins and he wins the Intercontinental Championship, or Rusev wins in order to make the big heel of the mid-card when it comes to the situation. Because in my opinion, and this might be a little spoiler, we might have a new Mega Campeón in the horizon. So there might be a little dirty action going on in AAA, and he might not be as much on Raw as he should be. So leaving a heel position there, Rusev might be the one stepping up. So in my opinion, I have Rusev winning over Sheamus. In my opinion, he has to in order to prove his credibility, to keep that momentum going. Even though he gets no reactions, I don't know why he gets no reactions, but Rusev should be winning. Who do you think is going to win?
Rusev is going to win 100%. Look at this. Rusev is going to be exactly like AEW. When he was in AEW, he's going to be winning matches. He's going to get a title. Become champ for a few months or something like that. Make it 6 months. Well, in AEW, he was a champ for almost a year. But over here, we'll give him 6 months. And afterwards, little by little, he will fade away.
But that's the thing. I don't want Rusev to fade away because look, when I was such a huge fan, it was during the end of the Ruthless Aggression era. Because I started watching wrestling around 04, 05. You know, some of my favorite wrestlers, Eddie Guerrero, you know, Rey Mysterio, Kurt Angle. You know, I like these wrestlers. I like also, you could say, the meaty wrestlers. The guys that were out there just to sling. To go out there like Rusev, like Sheamus, like Gunther. I'm a type of person that, especially that match, I know you haven't seen Ilya Dragunov versus Gunther. In my opinion, watch the match. Ilya versus Gunther. That proves or that shows what type of good matches Gunther could have. During that time, his name was Walter. So I feel like these sort of wrestlers should be getting reactions, but for some reason they don't want to do it to Rusev. And I remember, you know, WrestleMania, him coming out on a tank. Who comes out on a tank? That's for DX, not for Rusev. So in my opinion, Rusev should be winning this. You also have Rusev. As much as I like Sheamus, bring back your theme song, man. Bring back the old theme song. Bring it back. Transitioning over to a great theme song, a theme song you like. Nikki Bella versus Becky Lynch. I know we kind of tagged on this. We talked a little bit about whether or not Becky Lynch should win, whether or not Nikki should win. Hey, do you want to touch what you can't touch, man?
Becky's winning.
You got Becky.
Yeah.
I have Becky too, man. And as much as I gave the little rant of Bayley doing that, it was all situational. If they were to do that transition, it would be Nikki winning, Becky moving to the main event scene, Bayley beating Nikki at WrestlePalooza, and then Bayley basically becoming Becky, you know, in the mid card. But in my opinion, Becky Lynch has been such on the run. I feel like she should leave that loss, or that loss could be more important to a young wrestler coming up, like possibly a Roxanne Perez.
She's not gonna win a title until probably give it 2 more years.
Well, she was already a champion.
But in NXT, right?
No, she became the women's tag team champion with Raquel. It was official. It became official.
It's official.
When they won an Evolution, she became officially the world champion by winning. You cannot take that away from Roxanne Perez, as you can tell.
I won't, but it's the tag teams. No one cares about the tag teams.
Hey. My other favorite wrestler is Liv Morgan. She has the most title holds. We are giving that respect to our Mexicana queen, our Latina queens, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. In my opinion, that's a good platform. Maybe Liv comes back, kicks out Roxanne. She goes after the Intercontinental, wins it. I'm telling you, man, there could be some potential there. They don't call it a priority for no reason. You know, going to the next match, to another prodigy, and I know my boy here hates Logan Paul. Logan Paul versus John Cena. Now, in my opinion, Logan's winning.
Oh yeah, 100%, because Brock Lesnar is gonna show up, distract Cena, and Logan Paul is gonna beat Super Cena, and Super Cena will not bury Logan Paul.
100%. I 100% agree. Logan Paul is beating John Cena with the help of Brock Lesnar. He coming back. You know, as much as we don't want to talk about the controversies, we're just talking to him as the wrestler, Brock Lesnar. He's going to come back. He's going to cost John Cena the victory. Logan Paul is going to have the brass knuckles, in my opinion, because they talked about it on SmackDown. They talked about the whole idea that he's bringing back his style, the word life. I hope it's the word life brass knuckles to make it the whole emphasis of that. I have Logan Paul winning with Brock coming back. Now, the last match on the Clash in Paris, the World Heavyweight Championship match with Seth Rollins against CM Punk, Jey Uso, and El Knight. Yeah. Who do you think's gonna win? In my opinion, it is an easy win. Easy pick, in my opinion.
Seth Rollins is gonna win. It's obvious. This is too predictable.
Like I said, Seth is winning, in my opinion, predictable. Now, this is the big question. Who do you think is gonna get pinned? In my opinion, and it's gonna hurt my heart. L.A. Knight.
Oh yeah, it's obvious.
In my opinion, it's gonna be L.A. Knight for the simple fact that they pushed Jay on Monday Night Raw. He's my second choice, but they pushed Jay and they made L.A. Knight look to be incapable of beating these guys. So I'm gonna pick L.A. Knight, but in my brain, I'm at a 50-50. You could ask me this tomorrow during the match. I might say Jay. Do you think it'll be somebody else? Maybe CM Punk?
No.
So you're going with L.A. Knight, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Last thing before we go. This is the big match happening on Monday Night Raw in front of the Paris crowd, not on Clash on Paris. AJ Styles versus Dirty Dominik Mysterio. I have AJ Styles winning. As much as I like Dom, I have AJ Styles win in order to have the big crowd with El Fenomeno. The fans are going to be screaming, chanting his name. El Fenomeno is going to have a big pop, winning in Paris. I have AJ Styles in order for Dom to focus on Worlds Collide to beat Hijo del Vikingo to become El Mega Campeón. Who do you got winning, AJ or Dom?
Dominic.
You got Dom.
He's going to be 2-time champ.
Again, I've said, this is not my third time saying this. Jay, you've been on the roll. I see the vision. I see the vision, man. Having Dom hold both the Mega Campeonato and the Intercontinental both on top of Vikingo, I see it. But in my opinion, and this is me fantasy booking here, I have Ilya Dragunov versus AJ Styles as the next feud. And then I have John Cena feuding for AJ to win the Grand Slam Championship, becoming Intercontinental Champion. I am fantasy booking this right here, right now.
This match should be in the freaking pay-per-view.
I 100% agree.
They should get rid of Rusev against Sheamus.
I feel like that could have been a good Raw match.
Or you should have just added, or how they used to do it, have all the title pay-per-views or the good feuds on pay-per-view, and this other matches just keep it on Raw. Like Rusev against Sheamus, that's a Raw pay-per-view. I mean, that's a Raw show.
No, I 100% agree, and this is something that we talked about when Night of Champions happened. There was no champions on Night of Champions.
You want to know why they're doing this?
Why?
It's just because they're trying to just limit the matches to. They're just trying to limit to 5 matches.
In my opinion, that's dumb. They showed an Evolution. They could do a 7-match card. In my opinion, if they want to have Sheamus versus Rusev to be basically a no DQ match, if they want to have Becky out there with Nikki Bella just because, they want to do something with Nikki, in my opinion, you could easily, because the Paris crowd's going to be hot for Clash in Paris, you could easily have AJ Styles versus Dominik Mysterio. You could easily add that in. If you really want Sheamus and Rusev to have a pay-per-view match, especially because you lost Stephanie Vaquer versus Naomi, you lost the title match, I feel like you could easily add this match. And again, I feel like they just want to have this big pop for AJ. Have it in the pay-per-view.
The problem is this. TKO, they don't care about it because they care more about commercials than wrestling.
See, when TKO first started, I didn't think I would start to reminisce the Vince McMahon era. And I watched the 2010s era of WWE. I watched the PG era. I sadly semi-watched the pandemic era, which is also pretty bad. Do you remember the Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins losing eye match? Do you remember that match?
No.
Bro, rewatch how bad that match is. That's insane. But, in my opinion, and this is going to be another video of us talking about TKO. Stay tuned, subscribe, watch us. Guys, was our preview. Us talking about who do you think is going to win on the Clash of Paris and the title match after. Please subscribe, comment, like, tell us what we could improve on. Follow us. Hopefully the Instagram will be up soon after this. Sub on Spotify, sub on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. Peace, man.